We can't hear you.
One second.
We can't hear you.
Hello and welcome to a special holiday episode of Piano Tech Radio Hour. Today we'll feature some very special pre-recorded content, which I will explain momentarily. But first, a reminder of what this is all about. We gather here every Saturday to meet with and learn from the most fascinating and knowledgeable folks in the piano world, including manufacturers, rebuilders, musicians, makers of other instruments, and of course, piano techs. Our mutual goal is to become better at our craft, to help each other, and to create an ever more musical world together. Piano Tech Radio Hour is brought to you by Piano Technicians Masterclasses, an online learning resource that brings you cutting-edge instruction from piano industry masters without leaving your home. You could find out more at pianotechniciansmasterclass.com. Okay, I hope that you are having a warm and wonderful holiday season and spending time with your favorite family, friends, pets, or even finding time to yourself to reflect. But if you don't already know, I regret to say that the piano industry was very sad to hear of the passing of one of our favorite community members this week, Isaac Sadegurski. He was one of those guys that everyone loves. He was warm-hearted, generous, and kind. And on top of all that, he had an incredible sense of humor. That is, if you're into exclusive and often corny piano technicians jokes. Anyways, for this week's radio hour, we are going to pay a special tribute to Isaac by rebroadcasting some of the member area content that features him. Isaac participated in an online convention with us, and we had a blast getting into his workshop and learning all the tricks and tips that he had to share. So keep watching and enjoy this portion of Isaac's lecture. Enjoy the memories of a wonderful man and wonderful piano technician. Welcome, everyone. Just take a minute to make sure everybody's let in, and we can get started here in a moment. Good to see you all again. Thanks for joining us. That was a session we had with Alex Kirstan. Very much appreciated, and thanks to everyone for engaging and participating and bringing your questions. I think it really made it for an even better session than it would have been to just have so much engagement and interaction. Isaac, what is your preference for engagement and interaction? Would you rather talk for a little bit and then have a Q&A period? Do you want people to be able to kind of cut in and discuss? It's really up to you what works best for you.
Well, I have material enough for probably 4.5 hours, and then we can have dinner together.
Okay.
But I will try to go fast. What I would like to do is show you my way of being equipped. For people with a little bit less experience, I will not be in position to teach a class how to do one specific task. I will try to do it with one or two topics to slow down. Otherwise, I'll say, here what I have, here how I put it together, and move on. My classes usually go fast.
Okay.
And we try to cover for every level of experience or inexperience, just to give you some ideas.
Okay,
But if you
excellent.
have questions during the break, pose the question and I will try to please.
Okay, perfect. So it sounds like it's easier for you to just kind of keep going, keep on task, and get through a bunch of stuff. Okay, all right, that sounds great. I got a little bit of a jitter on your internet, although it seems the signal's probably coming through okay. But just keep an ear out for me. I'll let you know if there's we need to like pause and
Okay.
have you say something again or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's running pretty steady. Okay, excellent. Well, I'll give an introduction to you in your presentation, and then basically I'll leave it to you to keep running with it. So I'll introduce Isaac Sadegorski. He has established his business by serving both large accounts and individual customers. He's based in LA and broadly experienced serving institutions, musicians, venues, recording studios, and private homes. He is a well-known piano industry veteran who's committed to helping his fellow tech. He is also known throughout the piano community for his musical ear resulting from his years of classical music conservatory training. And in a little blurb about his class today, he wants to take about 2 hours to show and tell ideas about packing special tools, parts, and supplies, and to do specific, not so common field or shop repairs. About 30 plus kits will be discussed and some actual demonstration will be done. You can have your notebooks ready and lots of information will be shared. So I'll hand it over to you, Isaac, and you can get started. Just shout out if you need anything from me. I'll probably be off camera for most of the presentation. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah, I have great tech support here. Eric Raudenberg, alumni from the Nord Bennett School, and Wesley Williams, just starting. So they will be helping me with the high-tech stuff. My name is Isaac Sadegorski. I'm a member of PTG since 1975 and mostly work in private homes. I try to avoid concert stages and all that. I have done it and I have my personal reasons. I will show you maximalistic way of putting stuff together. All my professional life, I was driving a van, full-size van, equipped for any unusual stuff. I could end up 30 and 50 miles away from home. And when you need a little tool, a little that, experience will tell you how to pack. For people who live in Boston, Manhattan, San Francisco, where you rely on public transportation, it's a totally different approach, and you will be better off attending Dan Leviton's class about how to put stuff, minimal stuff and travel with just a briefcase. So the first thing, what I do when I enter the house, I like to keep few things in my luggage. I travel with the luggage, wheeled luggage case, like you go to the airport on the travels, and I will try to show you briefly to what I do. Maybe you can adopt something to make your life a little bit easier. So this is ordinary piano bench, but imagine this is a vertical piano. I like to carry my own light, okay, on the big clamp, and clamp is protected with plastic tubing, so it will not scratch the cabinet of the piano. So I have a good light. I have a good support for the lid. It's very sophisticated, and you can attach, you can do adjustments and leave it as high, as low as you want. And the magnetic dish is put together on a little lace. So if I take out any cabinet screws, they are here on a magnet and they don't get lost. So I hope I made myself clear with that. So Wesley, let's put this down and keep on.
Let me cut in here real briefly. I see someone's got a phone that they're filming with. Is that something that's going to the Zoom as well, or is that just another camera someone's someone's using.
You have two cameras.
Yeah, we have two cameras here.
So you have another one that's going into the Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, what's the name on that camera? That way I can switch to it as necessary.
It could be Isaac Sadegurski.
It should say Isaac Sadegurski on there as well.
It'll say Isaac Sadegurski as well. Okay, cool. I'll keep my eye out for that, and I'll switch to that camera accordingly. Okay, thanks. You can continue for now, and I will.
Okay.
Let you
So
keep
this
track of
is
that.
my magic extension cord, and it has light in it. So if I'm 20 feet away plugging into the wall outlet, it shows me immediately that there is power, so I don't have to run back and forth. And there is enough outlet for my cyber tuner and anything else. And another hidden secret and very convenient thing in my daily life is, what is this rubber? Okay. Rubberized yoga mat, little blanket. So with the rubberized section, it never slides. I can sit on it and the blanket will stay there, and I will never be accused of scratching customers' piano bench. Are we clear on that?
Sounds good.
Little plastic bag filled with different diameter of inner diameter plastic tubes. And I can protect L-shaped pins in lid hinges. I can protect little bolts sticking out of the piano bench so little kids will not scratch themselves. And inner tubing also will work well on putting together broken hammer shank. If it breaks along the length, glue and plastic tubing, little ring, will keep it together. No reason to use threads. And the blades are there as well, and always extra protection is bungee cord. Next little innovation is my collection of tuning mutes. Okay, I can do pitch raise with the mutes. I can do well-maintained piano with just 2 rubber mutes. Doesn't matter. But for pitch raises, for moving fast and completing it in 15, 20 minutes, different types of different thickness of muting are needed. Now, I see people quite often are playing a very neat person, and they put mutes together, and this can eat up about 27 seconds of your life to put it nice and neat, okay? My opposition to that is our fingers are sweaty, full of chemicals. It goes into the felt and then transfers to the wires. So, if you still prefer to put them together, put it together twice, and now you will do it in 9 seconds. If you prefer to do that. I prefer to put them in a nice little zippered bags, and nobody will see it, and it's ready to go. So unpacking, packing goes very fast. Because I work on different types of pianos with different types of tuning pins. Some people carry 1, 2, and 3 tuning hammers. I prefer to carry just 1. But if I have to change the tip, here is the dilemma. If I will use traditional Z-shaped tool, it will take some time to break it, some tapping, and then replace it and tightening it. So it's a much faster approach if I will have appropriate tip removed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's out, and head and tip together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm ready to go. And tip number 1 is marked with red tape. Tip number 2 is the yellow. And tip number 3 is green, very easy to find. And I have a long one, I have a shorty one, I have thin wall one, and things go much, much faster with that. And I'm very much against using screwdriver blades, Phillips, and for tightening the plates. It chews up the tip and it becomes very, very loose prematurely. And that's as much as I can tell you about the tuning hammer. Mostly it's number 3, and guys will put it back together. Also, I have number 4 with 4 rings. If somebody replaced tuning pins, rebuilt piano with number 4, 5, and 6 tuning pins, you need number 4 tip, and Schaff sells them. Tuning hammer is protected in a pouch, easy to find. And let's talk a little bit about key easing. We confront this problem quite often. And in our super pregnant toolboxes now, we have to find all the tools needed to do the key easing. So I switched to a different system where all the stuff needed to do successful key easing is in a zippered bag. So I will walk you through. Let's say I have to do something to the balance hole. Here I have handle with a balance pin, and it's a little bit rough. So I can easily enlarge the hole. 1, 2, done. It has another one, drill type, and I can enlarge the hole, no problem. If something needs to be done inside the key, here is the tool to clear up the balance hole, mortise. If somebody installed new plastic key tops and they are interfering with the movement of the key, here is a file, and I can easily clear up the notching of the key and move on. If the key is slightly twisted and we need clearance between 2 keys, this specialty file can easily do it. So here between the 2 keys, this thin metal goes and can do the necessary clearance. And here are the key easing pliers, 2 types, 1, 2, and this is the hidden one, expensive German Renner, where without removing the stack, I can do the key easing on the grand piano. So this is done from the top. And this German one Renner will move me quickly through the front. Everything is here, so maybe once a week, once every maybe a couple times a month, I need that bag for key easing, and I can get to my car, get it, do it, and I don't have to schlep it around every day. For many years, I was talking on the internet about beauty of using vinegar. If we have a situation where the hammer is rocking, the glue joint it gave up, applying vinegar with a brush will soften the glue in a matter of less than a minute. And then if we leave it alone, it will easily rejuvenate the glue and it will be nice and tight. And I confronted pianists where 20, 30 hammerheads were rocking and applying the vinegar saved regluing, nursing, and saved tremendous amount of time. And here are the different tools for removing the hammerheads. We can have the whole class, but one of the most beautiful tools is modified vice grip, where in the click, it just pushes the hammer shank out and it's done. So it's a vice grip modified by Francis Mahaffey, and a good welder can copy it and do it. It can be pricey, but it's a great tool to separate hammerheads. This is in the shop. I have a full drawer filled with tools for removing the hammerheads. Okay, let me give you a little puzzle. We just removed the vertical hammer butt with the shank and hammer. Did some work, repinning, regluing. Now we have to put it back, and we fit the screw. We tighten the flange screw. Now we have to put the hammer butt return spring back in place. Years and years of submitted contribution. I learned it from Darwin Crystal. On a screwdriver, I made a V notch, and this V notch can easily grab the spring and put it back. So now I have one tool for two operations. Put the flange screw back, and with the same tool, put the spring back. If you don't put the spring back, you will have a callback. If you are on a budget, if you take a spinet wire, elbow wire, the threaded portion of it can grab the same spring and put it back in place. And this elbow itself makes a good handle to do that. Oh, just today, Phil Bondi was crying. The muffler for Yamaha was damaged and he couldn't get it out and he was frustrated. I have the whole kit to deal with it because my predecessors probably didn't have appropriate screwdriver to remove the muffler screw out. If the head is damaged, I can easily replace it because I have a good collection of those metric screws. If the washer is missing on the magnet, I have plenty of washers. And if the thread is busted, I can easily re-thread it. Here is the handle with appropriate tap. Do it quickly outside of the piano and put standard American screw there, and it's done. But my preference is to get rid of the wing nut because my short, fat accordion fingers are not comfortable to wing nut. And usually mistake we do is we leave it not very tight, and then the muffler falls out and we get a callback. So I replace wing nuts with screws, and long blade screwdriver can easily put it back in place. If the silk cord for repetition spring on a grand weapon is broken, falls apart, everything I need, awl, drill, silk cord, and wooden plugs to plug the hole after I'm done. I can easily replace one or two of those silk cords which had failed on the older piano. And the reason I do it, I like to do it in front of the client, and they see what kind of amount of work is involved, and maybe it's more reasonable for them to move up to a better piano or invest several $100s into doing just that portion because it's very time consuming. But once it's in the with the help of my helper, assistant, I can do it real quickly. And if I don't do in the field more than 6 units, no matter what is broken, if there is a 6 units and more, I don't want to stay overnight camp and there alone. I prefer to take it in the shop. And one of the reasons I drive the van is I have built-in shelf there, and I can easily put vertical or grand action. If I'm in college, in the summertime, I can easily put in the van 3 grand action and easily transport them. So I know by the looks at this zippered see-through bag that this is all I need for the silk cord replacement. If I have to deal with loose threads in the keys, this setup can help me. Let's say this is damper lever. It has loose leads. I can easily enter this territory and pinch the lead, and it's done. In Southern California, in a very dry climate, the leads tend to get loose inside the keys. The clacking noises coming out of the action is due to loose leads. So you can see the key and just squeezing it produces enough squeeze to make the lead explode. So key easing is done here. If I have to do the key outside with the specialty punches, I can easily leave the hammer, tap it, and nice and tight. But everything for that operation is inside that pouch, and I don't use it every day. If the entire action is clacking, then take it all apart, do each key individually, and test it for tightness. Very common problem. I can't open the piano. I can't get the full board out because the screw, set screw on the full board is broken. There is a way to take it out, do something, but I have a good selection of full board hinge screws. They come in different configurations, different threads. Even Schimmel has a monstrous one, 6 millimeter. And believe me, the brass ones get lost in customers' carpet. So I have those, and it's an easy fix and get over with it. I have a good collection of rubber buttons of different types, and the ones with the needle are on the magnet. So they're easy to keep together, different colors. In case it's missing, it's here with me. But for the
Isaac, I'm gonna cut in here 1 minute.
Yeah.
3 things. One, on your Zoom, either you or one of your assistants, can you have them hit the record button on your end? So that's going to be at the bottom of the Zoom or something like that. Probably right in the center right area.
Are we recording to this computer or to the cloud?
You would be recording to that computer.
Okay.
Are you able to do
All
that?
right, it's done.
done.
It's done. Okay, great. And then, yeah, because we're getting a little bit of choppiness from you, but that'll probably get a more solid recording for the purposes of sharing.
How is the visibility so far? Whatever I show, is it clear enough?
I think it's pretty clear.
From the crowd.
I'm going to give you 2 tips,
Okay.
which may help.
Okay.
And it's, you have a certain style of presentation, so this it may or may not be easy to execute. One, if you don't, it's kind of funny because you're going so fast. The more quickly you move, it takes more video bandwidth. So then we get choppiness on the video audio if you're like moving around really fast. So, do whatever you can to
Slow down a
not
little.
jump around as much. Yeah, you don't have to jump around as much or like move a little bit more slowly.
Okay.
Don't want to make it subconscious, but that could help. And then the other thing is the sounds of the tools, kind of banging on things. They're probably not as loud to you as they are to us because it's coming in through the computer speaker. So just, maybe a little bit more gentle when you're setting tools down, or maybe just put a cloth down on the desk or something like that.
A little cloth. There is a black blanket right there. Right. Okay. Thank you.
And then that's about it.
Wrap it.
I just wanted to check in.
Okay. If I have to do voicing, on this bag is written voicing, all the paper, voicing needles, anything I need to do it quickly is placed in this. And another tip I would like to share with you is I like to use those little kids' lunch boxes. And when I get them from Lost and Found department by the end of the year, or the garage sales or Salvation Army store, I prefer to buy them in light colors so I can write down voicing here clearly and voicing on this side so I can easily find it in the darkness of my car. Extra needles there and all you need, but I can walk in, do it, and be done. Other thing is a huge client pleaser are those coasters, wooden ones, nice, sold by Schaff and many other suppliers and Jansen's. And if it's a brown piano, walnut piano, I can install a set of 3 or 4, whatever is needed. And I keep them in dozens in brown bag or black ebony ones in black. And also I have mahogany color, so I can easily find the appropriate color, bring it in. Later on, I will show you my lifting device, so I can do it by myself, lift up vertical piano or one leg of a grand piano at a time. And people like those. I don't know, a lot of guys are missing the opportunity to make little extra money. And again, the bottom line is pleasing the clients. In this bag, I have every imaginable socket to tighten leg and pedal wire screws. Those monster ones are for kawaii square nuts. Of course, the handle, screwdriver, and a separate one with hex ones for Samick legs, lyres, and also Samick's and Schimmel's plate are using hex type of sockets. And those sockets are designed to fit on a handle. Okay, so I can do it more effectively than most of us will struggle with the L-shaped Allen wrench. So everything, leg, pedal lyre tightening is in this box, and it's pretty heavy, so it stays in the car. I don't have to carry it with me all day long. Another idea about working with rubber buttons is every stem of the rubber button has its own diameter. So if I have Steinway, Yamaha, and other ones, I have appropriate drill bit with a stopper, so I can easily drill, get all rubber out of the hole, and easily install replacement with a little dab of glue. It's done. But this is for the field or in the shop. I have a luggage case on wheels, and every imaginable rubber button is there. And any of the younger guys who don't have a shop can borrow it from me, take it on the side, do this repair, and bring it back to me. And there is enough room in the box for nice bottle of wine. So that's 12% return on my investment. But we have fun. They come to the shop.
Nice.
If I have 5% investment, we might have some beer.
Beer. No,
What?
we don't want beer.
We don't discuss that portion. All right. Most Asian pianists have plastic inserts in the pedal rods. Got it? And those plastic inserts break. They come apart much faster in Southern California because of dry air, dry heat. So your options are to order every imaginable size from the manufacturers, which is very difficult to do, time consuming. Another possibility is to have wooden dowel and pre-drilled holes and replace it. About 5 years ago, in the technical tip department, Cy Zabrodsky from Montana chapter wrote a wonderful tip. So what it is it's a plastic anchor for drywalls. If you take it in and push it in, it's going to stay there. Then if I take a regular screw, drywall screw, and drive it in, I have perfect fit here. With the bolt cutter, I can cut the head of that screw, and now replacement is done. And if I need a washer here, so the fender washer can stay there, and also felt washer will finish the job. So you got the idea. Those anchors are cheap. You buy a box of 100, maybe for $5, and you got universal replacement for every plastic insert for hollow aluminum vertical pedal rods. So if I buy a box of 100 and they stay here, I have much smaller kit in the car, and I can do it on the spot. So try to utilize it. You will not be running around and trying to do the job on the spot. Makes it much easier. In this type of a drawer, I have everything I need to repair Jansen artist bench. When the bronze bushings get loose, it's very frustrating for a piano player to sit on that bench. So every washer bronze bushing screw, I prefer to use L-shaped Allen wrenches. They provide much better power. I can take it on the table, very little setup time, flip the bench upside down, do all this repair, and put it together, and then it will go in back home very quickly.
Back to the drywall anchor screws real quick. Is there a size to those that you
I
prefer?
believe number 6 or number 8. Again, try it once or twice and you will see which one works better. The secret is to have that anchor wall. I can step out and bring it. I don't want to make you wait for 10 seconds. But it has to be very smooth, no thread. No, this is the anchor. On the wall, I have the screw itself, which is, well, miniature screw. This is big one. It has very,
Oh, I see what you mean.
very slick portion, which goes into the felt or rubber bushing on the action.
On thread portion. I got you.
Okay, people are crying for help when they work with Samick pianists, and those bolts are misplaced, missing. They're hard to find because they have British thread, and you have to be prepared for that. First of all, They come in different lengths. Let me show you some of them. Okay, there are three different lengths for it. And this L wrench will work on it, but again, I showed you my supply of tips for power ratchet handle. To get them, let me share with you, going to conventions and knowing the factory reps like Jane Jones and Roger Jolie used to work for Samick really helps. If I had done a couple of service calls and it was literally nothing beside the service call, I did private tuning, got paid privately. All I asked them, instead of paying me this $20, $30, I asked for extra screws and I got them for cheap. They sell for about $10, $12 a piece, and ordinary hardware stores don't have them. And again, selection of flat washers and lug washers really helps. And I saved them where somebody tried to put Hawaii bolt into the Samick, and you can see the thread is busted twice. So, okay. With this setup, here, I can repair any Steinway music rack if the rack is falling, if the hinges are not holding. All the plugs and screws of any shape, flat and round, are here. I prefer to buy them by hundreds. I don't like to hardware stores every time I need additional screw. And again, all the screwdrivers, specialty screwdrivers, are here with all the screws attached to the magnet except the brass screws. So very convenient system. Put it in, do the job, put it in, done. And this will go there. If we get to the funny department of stripped screw holes, I would advise to use shoe pegs. Ups used to sell them, and they come in.
Say that.
They are
Who
not
used to sell them?
wax.
Who is it that-
American Piano Supply. They are gone, but they sold a lot of their stuff to Schaff. So today you can get it from Schaff. You can see I have supplies enough to carry me through the year 2147. I will be 300 years old by then. So a little old to start the hole. This container makes it very convenient to keep the brush and the appropriate pencil does it for me. Glue, apply some glue, and then don't forget to wash it. But it's very convenient, very stable way, and there are punches to punch the freshly made plug, and there is a cutter, flush cutter, to cut it flush with the surface, very much like for center pins. So this bites it easily. So again, everything for plugging the holes, stripped holes, is here, and believe me, I use it quite often. Just goes here, glue removed, and done. With this sliding drawer in a specialty cabinet, I can repair most of the verticals, consoles, and spinets music desks. When the sides are chewed up, if it's beyond repair, I can run it on a table saw, make it about 3/4 of an inch shorter with client's permission, and then put the studs, put the protective L-shaped brackets in it. I can make a notch, I can file it off, so the saw and the file is there. everything is pretty much here. This is an example of the area which I had to cut off. This is beyond repair. And with the table saw, again, 7 seconds later, it's ready and the screws will go into the fresh wood. So it's a very lucrative area. People practically cannot play the piano if the music rack is not functioning. So here's the screwdriver for it, and the hidden secret is that famous L-shaped bracket which goes into the damaged area to prevent it from happening in the future. And you can't buy that stuff from our suppliers, unfortunately. Again, my Samick connection, I asked them for a favor, can you send me a few pairs of those L-shaped brackets, and the whole package had arrived. I still have them, and for my good PTG friends, well, they can borrow one. They can get one from me as a big favor, go in the shop back. If I have to deal with a school or college vandalism department where lid hinges are damaged beyond repair, and I can easily do the replacement. In this box, I have a good variety of them. And again, parts were male and female. And I can get by, again, Yamaha. And I have a good collection of those L-pins. But guys here can see how badly this is damaged, and I don't have time to repair it on the spot. I have brand new one. I can replace it. They are different from model to model because of the different thickness of the rim. So again, once I'm there, I can do that repair and get over with it. I'm sure people in the audience had confronted that. And in the shop, I have a bucket filled with different lid hinges salvaged from junked pianos. I have 2 dealers. I do some work for them, and every time they have piano ready for dumpster, they let me go through it and collect some of that stuff. Number 18 screws. You see, this is number 20 for Mason and Hamlin. Those are collapsing ones for Yamaha. But a good collection of different 16, 18, and 20 number wood screws collected from junked pianos. This is too much. Yeah, I have full spot. I can easily make a replacement for pedal legs and lyres. If I have hammer shank plugs. I have masking tape here to mark how deep the drill has to go, and pretty much set up. And I have bolt cutters, 3 sizes in the shop and 3 sizes in the van. So if the screw is a little bit too long, the bolt cutter will snip it off in 3 seconds. And by hand with a hacksaw, well, if I will have to do it, I will need a vacation after that. Basically, I'm a lazy guy, and I'm the Russian. I have next appointment to catch up, so I prefer to do it quickly, and bolt cutters are wonderful for that operation. So this red kid's lunchbox has number 18, and I know that those are number 18 massive leg and pedal lyre screws, and it's pretty heavy. So, all right. Pedal springs, return springs, vertical types and grand types are different animals. So I have a good collection of those Pelican type of screws, return screws, etc. They are mounted on safety pins. I can easily get one out. And also they're all pre-buffed. I have 3M buffing wheel, and my helpers can learn how to operate the buffer by buffing up the springs. So the vertical ones are all here. Any type of trap spring is here. And later on, I will show you my collection of Grand. Quite often people pose a question where to get rubber caps for Steinway pedals. Yamaha Asians are using larger ones. And for years, I was preaching to abandon that technique. Rubber doesn't last very long. And if you're on good terms with your friendly neighborhood piano rebuilder, when they replace the back checks, they throw them away. So what you can do is with a razor blade, you cut off that buckskin, you place it inside the pedal, you put some pressure in it. Okay, you can do the tap, tap, tap. And now you cut it off with razor blade, and now you have a masterpiece. Beautiful. It will never squeak, it will never fall out because it's compression fit. And you do it 3 times and you are done. And more you will look at pianos where the dogs urinate and stuff happens. You see, this was urinated by dog, and this somebody was playing Blastissimo. See that, what they did with the right pedal? Too much use, about 30-year-old Yamaha. Needed new pedal replacement. But my main topic is, again, 2 pieces of buckskin put together, done 3 times, you're done, and then you throw away the naked back checks. All right, let's try not to make noise. This will go in a special drawer later on. Okay, and I need those 2 rollers for the wheels. Okay. So very often we are asked to move the piano. The main complaint from people is that now the piano is located too high and the pedals are too high. So the piano player has to put his foot in that position instead of that to do the pedaling. So this is the old type. The technician had to come and lift up piano one side at a time and remove the wheel. And now the wheel will go inside, and now done 3 times and you can move this piano. Old technology, there is something much, much better and more user-friendly. This and this will go in the van.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining today. And appreciate the fact that we have this recording, Isaac, that we can share. I also saw there's a YouTube channel that appears to be something that Egan and his assistants created. Right off the bat, because I just thought of it, but go take a look and see if you can find it. Maybe I think they only got up there like 5 or 6 videos, but a nice place to spend some time remembering Isaac, and glad he's sharing that with us as well. So I want to sign us off for the day. I really appreciate everyone that's here, yet again with us this week. That's unfortunately all we can share, like I said, of of Isaac's lecture in the 1 hour session today. If you would like to enjoy more, I put a link in the chat. You can visit that pretty easily. It's bit.ly, bit.ly/IS, for Isaac Sedergerski, no, not / dash, like a negative sign, right? Lecture. So that's bit.ly/IS-lecture. And we will be donating all the proceeds to Isaac's family to do with what they choose. Isaac is very generous in helping others, less fortunate than him. So let's all be inspired by Isaac today. I don't know if he talked about it. He didn't talk about it too much in the videos, but we automated piano technicians, especially on this.
So Ethan.
Yeah.
I put the link in the chat.
Okay.
On Monday, there's going to be a memorial service for Isaac out at Mount Sinai in Los Angeles. I'm going to be speaking there. Ed Whitting will be speaking there for the piano technicians. But it will be broadcast live on that Zoom link. So,
Awesome.
It's, if you want to remember Isaac in real time, I'm sure they'll put it up as a YouTube link afterwards.
Yes. Let me share that again. Thank you for sharing that, Carl. Yeah. It says in the chat, there's Zoom link for Isaac's Memorial, Monday, 11:30 a.m. PST. And we've got the Zoom link there. If you want to grab it, copy it. There's also a ... at the bottom right hand of the chat. You may be able to say select chat. So you could say little chat for today if you like. That's helpful. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Carl. Appreciate it. Anything else that you wanted to say?
Well, no, I think it's, it's like a giant tree has fallen in the forest. He has to be remembered. He was so generous with his time and his knowledge, and he's a great guy. Everyone loves Isaac. And, we're at that age where our colleagues are starting to pass. It's very alarming. He had the cancer for 12 years. He struggled, but he was pretty much okay. And then he had this terrible car accident, 6 or 8 months ago, and that for somehow may have re-triggered it, and it made it worse. These last couple of months, he's been in terrible pain. Any of the medications barely worked. So in a way, we had a retirement party for him about a month or so ago, and a lot of people came out and had a last lunch with him. A number of people came and played music. It was really a glorious afternoon. And, it just, I thank you for doing this. Respect has to be paid. I mean, this is someone who contributed a lot to all of us.
Indeed. Yeah, he was the name. It was the name, and his name was known not just for his skill and professionalism, but because of him being a good guy. Especially. Well, thank you, Carl, for sharing. Thank you for contributing to his memorial as well. I think that's really wonderful that you can celebrate. Thanks again for Isaac, right, for being here today on recording as well as in spirit. And just our general sign off today. As always, we're brought to you by Piano Technicians Masterclasses, cutting edge instruction for piano industry masters without leaving your home. And we're going to join us today by signing up for the session individually, make your life more convenient. Subscribe to Piano Tech Video for $60 a month. You get the recording of today's session in the member area, although you'll find that on YouTube and Facebook as well. We stream the whole time. And as well as automatic registration for each week's new session. And sign up at pianotechniciansmasterclass.com/PTRH-direct access. Thanks everyone for taking the time to show up today. I know it's a holiday for any of you that you like to spend with your friends and family. So it means a lot to have you here. And I know it's a lot of time as well on this family. All right, thank you very much.